Mac. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and I'd like to recite the four-way test if we can of the things we think, say, or do. Number one, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Fair to all concerned.
Fair to all concerned.
Build goodwill and better,
Build goodwill and better
Goodwill
friendship.
and better friendship.
all concerned.
Will be beneficial to all
Beneficial to
concerned.
all concerned.
Okay, do we have any guests at the meeting here today? As I'm looking around, some folks that we may not recognize.
Well, you may not recognize my partner in crime, Shadrach Domingo, but Shadrach is a surprise guest. I wasn't sure he was going to make it today. He's all the way from Tanzania. He contacted me a few hours ago. He said, "Michelle, my power's out. I can't join the meeting today." And I said, "Oh no." And then he called back a couple hours later. He said, "I'm back on." I'm like, "Great." So Shadrach is a member of the Keystone Club, and he is our member on the ground in Tanzania who administers our Build a Chair project. So I'm really, really happy that he could join us today.
Shadrach, welcome. We're glad you're with us, and we look forward to hearing more about what you and Michelle have to share with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Nice to see everybody.
Good to see you.
Okay, Chuck, you want to go ahead and reintroduce our guests who we already know?
I will do that. I also just want to say that it's nice to see Bob Utes as well.
Hey, Chuck.
He's back for a meeting. Well, Michelle Bailey,
Yes, Chuck.
it's good to have you with us. You are the Community Service and Grants Committee Chair for the Keystone Club. And we have our own satellite club, so we have a club that we feel very close to, but I think many of us are feeling very close to the Keystone Club these days. A number of us participate from time to time there, and I know a number of people from your club participate in our club as well. So it's almost like our sister club, and so it's great to have you here, talk a little more about some of the things that the Keystone Club is doing, but please tell us a little more about yourself too. Where are you based?
Oh, okay, sure. Well, thanks, Chuck. It's always fun to be with the Richmar Club because I live in Mars, so I'm in your neck of the woods, if you will. So my story is that I am originally from Central Pennsylvania, Carlisle, and when I first got married, my husband and I moved to Pittsburgh, and we lived actually in Mars for about 20 years. And then my job, I started moving with my job, my work. I work for Johnson & Johnson. And so the last 10 years, we've been moving around the world. We've lived in Brussels, Belgium. We've lived in California. We've lived in North Carolina. And now we're kind of back to Mars for good. We're here. We bought some land and we built a home. And this is what they would call the last stop. We're elated to be back. We love Pittsburgh. We love the Mars area. And so I'm right down the road from some of you. I don't know where you're all living, but I know Mac and I are neighbors. And I'm sure Amy and I are neighbors as well. And many of you, and of course, I know Bob Utes. I've known Bob Utes for a very, very long time. And there's Beth Marshall. Hey, Beth. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. I retired from my business career a couple of years ago. And so now I'm enjoying a lot of things I never had a chance to do when I was working, which would be taking classes at school and just things of interest, doing a lot of volunteering, doing a lot of nonprofit work, doing business mentoring, doing mentoring of other women, but just things that I really enjoy that I just had to put on the back burner for 33 years, essentially. But now I'm getting to do some of the fun stuff, I guess. And of course, I just joined Rotary. I'm a rather new Rotarian. I joined Rotary, I would guess it's about 3 years ago. I joined when I lived in North Carolina, and then migrated over to the Keystone Club about a year ago.
It's great to have you here, and it's going to be great to hear about the different projects that you're working on and hear a little more from Shedrack as well. So Shedrack, welcome. It's great to have you here. That's one thing about Zoom. It's a little frustrating. We want to have that person-to-person communication, but to be able to talk to Shedrack today is one of those miracles of technology.
For sure. Now it'll be another miracle of technology if I can get my presentation to run flawlessly. So we're gonna take a shot at it. So are you ready, Chuck, for me to share my screen?
It's all yours.
Okie dokie. Am I
Well,
set
and
up?
actually, Mac, hopefully Mac, I think, has you set up
Yeah.
to share the screen. So
Am I good,
all right,
Mac?
Good to go.
you're
Okie
ready to
dokie.
go.
Let's see if we can let her flicker here. So
You're on.
before I put this in present mode, a couple of things. I'm going to talk a little bit about the e-club I'm a member of first, and then I'm going to move into the Build-A-Chair project, which is near and dear to my heart and near and dear to Shedrack's heart. And so it's going to sort of be a two-part presentation, but I'm fiddling around with getting myself set up here, so just bear with me. Because we have some videos in here. We have a lot of different things going on in this presentation. And to be honest, you are the first club to see our new presentation. Shedrack and I have been working on this for a few weeks now. And we are very excited that you invited us to talk about the project. And we're very excited that you will be the first club to see kind of our new updated presentation, and also hearing about the phase 2 aspect of our Build-A-Chair project. So hang on with me. Okay, good. I'm good. All right, if everybody's ready, I'm going to get started. All righty, so as Chuck said, I am a member of the Keystone Rotary International Club, and we're part of District 7280. So we're part of Beth's district, and we're very proud to be part of the district. It's a great district, great group of people, and it's been really fun coming back to Pennsylvania and getting to know so many people in Rotary. So as we talked about, we're an international club, and we're a young club. We've only been around for a few years, about 3 years, but we have members from Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland, across other states across the United States. But then we have Shedrack, who's in Moshi. We have several members from Kosovo, a couple members now, probably 3 or 4 from the United Kingdom, and some from Canada and New Zealand. And our club has really grown exponentially over the last probably 6 to 9 months. And part of that, it's due to a couple things, really. First, many of you may know the Evans City Club was struggling really to retain membership. And they made a decision to disband, if you will. And 5 or 6, I can't quite recall, but members of the Evans City Club in this past year joined the Keystone Club. So that was certainly a big boost to our membership. And then more recently, we've had a few folks join from a club in Grove City that I think also dissolved rather recently. And Darla Mata, who many of you know, was past president of the Grove City Rotary, and she had some friends, and I think they just recently joined our club. But it's been really fun, you know, for our little tiny club to really add new members and to grow and to be able to do more things. So that's kind of where we are today as a club. One of the other areas that has helped us kind of grow and become more diverse as a club is something we started about maybe 4 or 5 months ago called Friends and Family. And it was just kind of a brainstorm of the board. And we thought, well, you know, we have a number of people that are joining our meetings on a regular basis. And Mac was one of those people. And we're thinking, no, wait a minute, Mac has really great ideas. Mac's a long-term Rotarian. How could we invite Rotarians to be active members of our club while retaining their membership in their current club? So we created Friends and Family, and it's basically just an opportunity for other Rotarians to connect with our club. It's great for us because we've been a very small club, And it's been good, very good for us to get other insights and other ideas for projects and all of those things that you need to be a really high functioning Rotary Club. And it's, I think, also been fun for the people that have joined Friends and Family, because I have to tell you, we are a really fun club. We do fun stuff. We play games. We, and, you know, I'll get into that a little bit more, but we have fun. We laugh. We try not to take ourselves very, you know, too seriously. And it's just a really good time. So we're really always trying to do things, you know, to keep it light, keep it fun, and keep it interesting. So these are some of the things that we're into. So on the fun side, we did a game show this past year in October for End Polio, and we raised some money, but we also, with the help of, you know, all of the younger folks in the club that are tech wizards, we had this really cool game show, and it went off pretty much without a hitch. It was a lot of fun. And some of you were there. Beth, I know, was there for sure. Then we also did a car cruise, and this was really a fun time. What we did was we had each of the members and send in a picture of their first car and then their favorite car. And Darla put together a beautiful slideshow, and each member got a chance to speak up and talk about their memories about the car and about the time and about what made it special to them. So it was pretty amazing to see some of the cars. I was pretty amazed, especially when my first car was a Volkswagen Beetle, and some of these folks were driving in cars like you see in the picture, and I'm in a beat up Beetle. I thought, oh wow, I don't know. I think I got the short end of that one, but anyway, so we do some fun things. Then we do some things, you know, that are starting to become initiatives that are reoccurring, like the Build a Chair project, which I'll talk to you about in a couple of minutes. We're big supporters of Crutches for Africa because we believe in our club that mobility is really important, and providing people with mobility, which is one of the things Crutches for Africa does. We also support Shelter Box. And this past year, we've supported Lebanon, and I know you're going to have a speaker from Lebanon in the next few weeks, but we also do things on a monthly basis, which I'll talk about in a minute. So right now, we are in the midst of a cookbook fundraiser. So this is one of the kind of fun things we do. We of course want to raise money, but we also leverage the fact that we're an international club. We have, I think, probably about 12 or 14 countries represented so far in the cookbook. And we're also marketing it as a fundraiser for your club. So if you guys are interested at all in partnering on this, you know, you can just let me know either through Mac or through Mary. Either way, just let me know, you know, if you guys would like to be involved and help sell cookbooks and earn a little bit of money. So how does an e-club perform community service projects, right? We live in different towns, states, countries. What we do is we pick a cause, an activity, a need, and we help those in our local communities. So we share what we do through pictures, videos, and stories with our club members. And that's part of my job as community service. I keep track of all the projects we're doing in our local communities. I keep track of service hours. I keep track of pictures, all kinds of things. Because as we just saw, our members are really scattered all over the globe. So it's a fun way to see what people are doing in their local community. And what we decided to do a couple of years ago is to sort of take the Rotary birthday for that given year. And this year, Rotary turns 117. So we do a challenge every month. And we challenge our club and our members in our club to get involved, get out in their community. And you can't participate every month, but pick a month that works for you and go for it. So in January, we're collecting mobility devices and funds to donate to Crutches for Africa. So our goal would be to collect 117 devices or $117. We're just using 117 to shoot for something. It's our goal. We're shooting for it. But each month, you know, we have a challenge. And last year, several clubs took up the challenge and got on board. And in our February birthday meeting, I'm going to be doing a slideshow and show you all the members of this district that decided to get involved in the challenge. And it was really pretty cool. So I'm going to switch over to the Build-A-Chair project. And the Build-A-Chair project, as we see it, is promoting health and mobility services to Tanzanians with disabilities. And it's almost a year that this project got off the ground. We launched right as COVID was starting, and we said to ourselves, are we crazy for starting this kind of project during a pandemic? And here we are still in the pandemic, unfortunately, and we're moving into phase 2 now of this project. And this project, as I'll explain, has opened our eyes to many, many things. And Shadrach is an invaluable resource on the ground, making sure that our money is being spent the correct way. We are identifying the right clients. We're helping the right people. We're doing the right things to make sure we're impacting lives. And it couldn't have been more successful in phase 1. And I guess the good news was we had a great phase 1, but we learned there's a lot more people we need to help. So this is a little bit about phase 1. We began, as I said, early 2020, and what our goal was, we had a waiting list, and Shadrach gave us a waiting list. Shadrach is a physiotherapist, for those of you that haven't met Shadrach before, and he's a university-trained physical therapist, we would call that in the United States, and he has a clinic in Moshi, Tanzania, and he sees children and adults, and he also does a lot of home visits. And what he was finding was there were a lot of people that were bedridden, and bedridden for a very, very long time. And there was a waiting list of 42 people that needed wheelchairs. So we thought, okay, well, we're going to take that on. We're going to shoot for 42. And like Rotarians do, they delivered, they got behind it, they donated, they helped us, and we have already built and delivered 42 wheelchairs. And what we learned during that process is there's a lot of people out there that need the help and need to get out of bed and become part of their community. So phase 2, which we're launching beginning of February, will address the continued need to provide mobility. And that mobility allows those individuals to go to school, to earn income, and to be a part of the community. We're also focusing in the phase 2 end of our project on education and transportation in order to serve more people. So this project has caught on, you might say. And now our little project at the Keystone Club is now a multi-club international project. And we have 5 districts participating. It's our club. Of course, it's the Ontario Walworth Rotary Club up in New York, the Rotary Club of Bodom in Cornwall, England, the Kapiti Horowanua District, 9940 in New Zealand, and the Webster Rotary Club. Now you might say, how did these clubs come to get involved in this project? Well, we have friend and family members from Ontario Walworth, the Bodom Club, the Kapiti Club, and the Webster Rotary Club. And ironically, of those 4 clubs, all 4 clubs have representatives that sit on my project team for Build-A-Chair. So these folks have seen firsthand how we've executed and how we've helped people, and they wanted to jump in. So we've got a little bit more help this year, which is great. And we're really very excited about the opportunity to partner across the globe. Here's Shadrach.
Hello, my name is Shadrach Domingo, a Rotarian. I live in Moshi, Tanzania, and I'm a member of the Keystone Rotary Club. And I would like to share with you the amazing, life-changing work we have done with the Keystone Rotary Club and other Rotarians in providing 42 wheelchairs for people who needed them here in Moshi and in the neighborhood. So our main task is to find the users, those who need the chair, assess them, prescribe the chair according to their needs and their environmental needs, and then we go to the workshop and fabricate the chair. And after that, we go back with the chair to the user, we do the final fitting and adjustments, and then the most important part is the user training to ensure that the user is able to use the wheelchair properly and safely. Huge impact with the wheelchairs. First of all, it has brought about independence to the users. Some of them were just indoors, lying in bed for a long time, some for years. There's a lady who has been in bed for almost 10 years. So that's a big thing to these people. Some of them, they come out of the house for the first time after a very long time. So it's a big thing for them. But apart from that, it's also a relief to the family, because the family members had to carry them to the toilet, to the bathroom, outside of the house. But now that burden has reduced. Some of the kids were now too heavy for the mothers to carry, but now with the wheelchair, it's going to be very easy. So it's a big thing for the users. We have some kids who have now started to go to school. We have one lady who was chosen to go to the university, and she's now able to go to school. She's in the second year now to the university, and the wheelchair is a big thing to her. It has been a very good experience. Personally, I have learned a lot. But as a team, first of all, we have made a lot of improvement to the wheelchairs themselves. In the beginning, our wheelchairs, the angle between the seat and the backrest was 90 degrees for all wheelchairs. But now we have improved. We can tilt the angle for the users who have no good head and trunk control. That is something we learned through the phase 1 of the project. We saw that some of the kids who have no good head control were unable to sit upright. So we have improved the wheelchair so we can tilt it backward, and they are now able to sit properly. And also in the clinical team, we have people who are coming in to learn, and as well as in the technical team. So this phase 1 has been a lot of learning to us, and we have improved on our skills and also on the quality of the wheelchairs. And we have also learned that because we have been going into the community and giving the wheelchair, we are receiving a lot of calls now. It's like we opened the floodgates. There are so many other people who need the wheelchair. They're asking the ones who received, like, where did you get the wheelchair? So we're looking forward to keep on doing the good work. We want to go ahead and reach more and more people in the community.
So, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I just, first of all, want to take a pause here and just say that we are very grateful. We're grateful to the Richmar Club, because the Richmar Club was one of the first clubs to step forward and help support this effort, both as a club and as personal members. The support and contributions were amazing, and you really, really helped us get through this first phase. And I put a quote in here that I wanted to share from one of our sponsors. And he said, of the many projects I've supported over time, this one has meant more to me because I know that I was responsible for helping a person get out of bed and enter into a new life in their community. And that's the power of mobility. It really does. It doesn't take weeks or months or years. It takes a day, and you've changed someone's life. So I also at this time would like to say a personal thank you to my friend Mac Purvis. And Mac is and has been on my Tanzania team for many months now. And Mac is an idea guy. He's the voice of reason, and he's a passionate supporter of this project. And I'm grateful that he gives his time and effort to continuing to motivate me to keep pressing on with the project and all the advice he gives. We thought in this second phase in this presentation, it was really important for you to hear from one of our clients, one of our recipients. And Shedrack put together a video, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I would say right now, if your volume isn't up to full, you might want to turn your volume up. Lucy is one of our recipients, but Lucy has a very, very quiet voice. So we closed captioned the video because she's very, very hard to hear. She has just a very delicate, quiet voice. but she is someone who received a wheelchair in the past several months, and I think it's going to be great to hear from her.
Hello, my name is Miss Jacqueline Account in Institute of Accountancy, Arusha, and I'm an accountant to be. I'm hereby to share a little story of my life. And I remember it was in 2015 where I started to lose my working ability. So from there, I started to be a dependent person on my different activities. But in 2017, the problem was very serious and it was a chronic situation that I was totally unable to walk, even to move. But due to lack of support that will help me to read in the class sessions from one place to another, I failed to go to school. But I thank God one day my physiotherapy doctor told me that I could get a wheelchair when I just contribute a small amount of money, because the place where this wheelchair is made, there is people who donated this money to help these people who they are in need. So we are just contributing a little amount of money that's good. And I thank God, a few days later I received this wheelchair and I was able to go back to school and pursue on with my studies. So I thank God I pursued well in studies and performed well. So now I'm in the second year and I'm doing well with my studies because I got this support. I can move from one class to another and I can attend all my studies lessons. All, I just want to thank you for those who will get a heart to help someone else out there, and you'll be blessed. Thank you.
So it's a partnership. An old African proverb says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. So if you want to consider partnering, fantastic. But we also understand that there are many things that you focus on in your own club. But just like last year, we can make a custom-made wheelchair locally in Tanzania to fit an individual perfectly for $260 US. And our goal in this phase 2 is to build 50 wheelchairs, because the list has grown again, and that's our goal. So with that, I'll say Asante Sana, thank you, and I will stop sharing screen, and Shedrack and I are available to answer questions.
Michelle, thank you very much. And Shadrach, that was a great presentation. I have one quick question.
Yes.
There's a couple of local groups, Global Links and Brother Brother. And I assume that what you do is you generate the money, send the money over there, and then they're able to purchase the supplies and put them together over there. With companies like Global Links and Brother Brother, if you approach them, they might even be able to send wheelchairs over there, possibly.
Yeah, Chuck, that's a great idea. And Shedrack, do you want to speak to that, to the local terrain, and why hasn't been a good solution?
Yeah. Thank you for the question, and also thank you, Michelle, for sharing the presentation. Regarding that question, we have problem with the imported wheelchairs because of the local terrain. Most of the roads are not paved; they are very rough, and the imported wheelchairs are meant for paved terrains. So their wheels are good in a paved terrain, so they don't really work here. And also, on the other hand, repair and maintenance of the imported chairs is very difficult. There's no spare parts. Some of them, they are not weldable. So what we do, we came with the idea of manufacturing the chairs locally, where we overcome all these problems. We use the wheels that are suitable for the terrain, and also the design of the chair is designed in such a way someone will be able to easily maneuver through the rough terrain. But also repair and maintenance is very easy because we use locally available materials. So it can easily be repaired at a bicycle shop or any welder. They can easily do that. So that's why we make them here locally.
And one of the other things that I will say was attractive to us is the fact that we're employing local individuals also. So we're helping, to employ some people locally. Shedrack more or less writes a prescription, if you will, for each child or adult based on their physical needs. And they can really customize the wheelchair. So it works really well.
Yeah.
It's a therapeutic device as well as a means of getting around. Hey, Beth.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Thank you for bringing that, Michelle. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I was going to say that the therapy part of the wheelchair, because when we take the measurements and prescribe and make the chair according to their needs, then the chair becomes therapeutic. If someone has a deformity, we see how to accommodate that in the chair. If someone has something that we need to accommodate in the chair, so that's the advantage also we have. We can customize the chair according to the user's needs.
So if I may, my next question is, how do you select who will receive a chair, and how long is the average wait for a chair?
Okay, so the most important thing is the mobility. Anyone who is beyond the age of 2 years and they are unable to walk is qualified to get a wheelchair. So that's the main way we assess them. And so one chair can take up to 4 or 5 days to be ready. So it depends, but usually we make them in making just one wheelchair is not cost effective. So when we have 5, 6, then in 2 or 3 weeks, we are able to deliver like 6 chairs.
Question, Michelle.
Yes, Gary. Hi.
Hi, thanks. Excellent presentation. I don't know why you were worried about this.
Well, I always worry, Gary. That's just my nature.
But the girl in the video mentioned about she paid a small amount for her chair. Do you have like a sliding scale that people have to pay, or how does that work out?
Well, I'll let Shedrack address that, but we I think there's at least my experience in the world of helping others over the last 30 years. I think that there's something to be said for a person dedicating some of their funds to receiving something that's going to help them. Certainly, we don't have a certain dollar figure, but we would like the individual to make some sort of contribution if they can, because there are many people that can't make any contribution. So the contributions that can be made go to spare parts, they go to helping train other people. But by and large, and Shedrack, I'm going to let you weigh in too, but from our experience in phase 1, by and large, these individuals don't really have the means to fund a wheelchair. And when she said, she was talking about us in her video, Rotarians, the people that helped her, the people that donated the money. She was talking about all of us. And, she was talking about Shedrack as her physiotherapy doctor. And, she's very well aware that people that don't even know her decided to invest in her. And that's a pretty cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
Shedrack,
so it's just like Miss Michelle has said, we we didn't have a very good experience in the past when we gave the devices free of charge. There's this sense of ownership when you charge something, but so no one is denied a chair. You give even $5 or $2, a sense of belonging. And we see that there's that ownership and accountability to the chair when they do so.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Anybody else? Well, thank you for letting us sort of use you as the guinea pig, because this is a brand new hot off the press presentation and it didn't go sideways. So I'm pretty happy about that.
You did a great job, Michelle.
And you guys are friends and, you know, you're friends and family. So I feel how great it is. Our own club hasn't even seen this yet. We're debuting this presentation to our own Keystone Club in a couple of weeks. So thanks for the invite, Chuck. I appreciate you letting us test drive on you guys, and of course, always appreciate your support.
We're good guinea pigs.
Michelle, I'll just say one other thing in terms of the Keystone Club.
Sure.
Is, I find it very inspiring to see what you guys have done over the past year. It kind of makes me feel bad that
oh,
that
Gary,
we have been relatively sedentary as a club, and to see how much you guys have been able to do and through the midst of this pandemic is it's inspiring. It just reminds
well, thanks, Gary. Let me just tell you, it's been a surprise to us too. I mean, as I said, I can remember having a conversation with Max saying, we're going to launch this Tanzania Build-A-Chair project in the middle of a pandemic. Are we crazy? Is this ever going to work?
I said yes.
And he said yes. And I said, okay, all right, you're gonna be my partner in crime, right? And he goes, yes. And I said, okay, then let's do it. And then, you know, the amazing thing is, like I said, now we have these clubs from New Zealand and the UK and New York that said, look, we want to get behind us with you. Well, how can we help you? And I'm like, wow, okay. Okay. So anyway, Bob, you look like you want to say something.
No, I just said I wanted to say very well done. I was trying to get technologically advanced and put it in the chat, but it's a lot easier just to speak it.
Oh, it's always good to see you, Bob.
Good seeing you guys.
Oh,
Probably back in school, I hope, next week.
Oh, is that the plan?
I think they start back up on Monday.
Okay, well, good luck with that. That's all I can say.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Just a quick note on that surprising developments, even in the midst of the COVID problem. We ran into it initially with our golf tournament, where everyone expected we were going to really have a terrible turnout given the timing. And surprise, surprise, we ended up getting a lot of money, as much money as we normally do. We did not, as a club, do the ring the bell for the Salvation Army, but I know a number of us still went out and individually did that. And just saw a note today that they were amazed because they raised really more money than they normally do. They got $17,000 just from the Walmart, and they had a donor who agreed to match that amount. So they had probably the best Salvation Army Christmas period they've ever had. So it's surprising.
That's great. Well, on another note, this cookbook idea I brought up earlier, this fundraiser we're doing for the cookbook, if you guys out there have recipes, we still need recipes, and we're accepting recipes till the end of the month. So if you guys are cooks, or your wives are cooks, or your husbands are cooks, and you've got some great recipes, we've got a simple form, keystonerotary.org, and it's super easy to submit, right, Mac Purvis?
No, it's not.
No. What do you mean, no, it's not?
I don't know. I had trouble with it because it demanded I have a picture, and I didn't have a picture.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
emailed them to Darla.
Okay, well, I know, but you can get around that. You can just put a picture of anything, of yourself, or of you cooking, or of a Rotary saying, or anything. But if anybody feels so inclined, we would love to have some more great recipes. So just Okay, Sharon, Sharon, it's not really an email. You just go to our website and it'll say under projects, you pull down the menu and it'll say International Cookbook and boom, you click on it, Sharon, and it just pulls up and you could just cut and paste. I would just pull a recipe up that I had and I just cut and paste it into the little spreadsheet there. So it's simple to submit. Thanks. We would love to have more. We're shooting for 100. I think we only have 78 right now. So that would be great.
Hey, Mac, I think the computers tasted your food. You know, there was good reason that it was rejected.
No. These are from Karen. So they're good. These are good.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I take that back then.
No, but we have some cool recipes from India and from Kosovo and from all over the place. So, and we have, recipes from a lot of our members. I'm on the committee, so I've been kind of looking through and there's some pretty good stuff there. So also could make a nice gift, I guess, if you'd want to buy a few and as a gift. But anyway.
Well, you
we'll
know
take
what,
recipes.
Michelle, if somebody sends you one from Mars, it may be the only interplanetary recipe that you have. So
Yes. And we could, you know what we could do, Jim? I could go down, I could take a picture of the spaceship and that could be the photo.
There you go.
Particular recipe.
That
Yeah.
is,
I'm kind of liking that.
And if you just happen to get the rotary clock in the background of that, that would be good too.
Wouldn't that be great? I mean, you mean the one at the park?
Yeah.
No, there's
yeah.
one downtown.
That clock?
No, there's one downtown.
Downtown? Is there one
Yeah,
downtown?
right. It's literally 5
That's
feet
right.
away from the spaceship.
Did you guys do 2 clocks? One in the park and one downtown?
Yes.
Wow. I walk by the one in the park every day. So
We don't know how to keep time. So
it's
we're
still
gonna have them
ticking.
all over Richmar footprint so that we can know what time it is at any given.
I see. Okay, good. Anyway, well, this was fun. It's always nice to see you guys.
You get just the right angle. You could probably get Mars Bank in that photo of the clock and the satellite too.
Oh,
I
Gary,
could.
I tell you what, spoken like a true brown noser. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you'll appreciate their order. He's going to buy one for every employee, so that'll be a big order.
Oh, you guys. Well, thank you very, very much for letting us talk to you about our ongoing projects and our Build-A-Chair. And Shedrack, thank you for, I know it's getting late there. Thank you for joining me today. I really love having you present with me.
Well, we appreciate you both being on. Shedrack, thank you so much for all the work you're doing on the ground there. That's phenomenal. And Michelle, thanks for being the catalyst to support it all financially. So,
and you guys come over and join our meetings anytime you feel like it. I mean, just tap in. I mean, Mary comes. Mary's here. I know I see her, but I don't see her, but I know she's on. Mary comes to a lot of our meetings, and of course Mac does as well, and of course Chuck. So everybody's welcome. And Beth comes a lot too, which is really fun. So everybody's welcome.
well, thanks again. We appreciate it. Thanks for all the energy you bring. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, you all have a great week.
Hey, Jim.
You too.
Take care.
See ya.
Jim, may I ask a question, Jim?
Sure.
So last time I sat in one of these Zoom meetings, Gary presented a project in Honduras, and we've had this project today in Africa. Is it safe to assume that the Mars Rotary contributes money to these projects?
I think it depends. And many of these folks that have presented are organizations that we've supported for a long time, and they're part of our planning and budgetary process. In many cases, these are part of our international avenue of service, but in some cases, these are things we haven't supported. So, usually as a follow-up at the board level, Dallas will discuss, do we want the club to support those organizations and their activities? Sometimes those individuals will actually reach out to us and ask, now that we're familiar with what they're doing, if we would be willing to help support them as well. So in many cases, yes. In most cases, we actually we come in behind them and help them.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Great. Any other questions?
reminder, no meeting next week. There'll be a board meeting in the evening on the 27th, and next meeting will be club assembly on the 3rd of February.
And a reminder to those that are on the call, foundation meeting at 1 o'clock. You have the Zoom link. I sent it out the other day.
Any other updates or questions, comments? Okay. Well, it's great seeing you all. Beth, thanks for jumping on. We appreciate it. It's great to see you.
Good to see everyone in the Richmond Club.
Okay. You all take care and have a great week.
Good job.
Thanks.
Good
You
to
too.
see you all.